Hello, welcome to Lil's Vintage World. This video is a book review of Strange Journey by Maud Cairnes. This has recently been republished by the British Library as part of their British Library Women Writers series, and I was very kindly sent a copy for review, so thank you British Library for kindly sending me a copy. Really enjoyed it. This book was originally published in 1935, but as I said, has recently been republished in 2022 by the British Library. So this is a book from the 1930s and it is a body swap novel. So we have two characters. We have Polly Wilkinson, who is a housewife. She is married. She got married very young to her husband Tom. They have two children together. She has a couple of domestic staff and she has her hobbies and she can play bridge and things like that, and she likes her magazines and she lives a very normal life, but she's still very young, and you know, there is certainly more to life than the life that she has, and I think she's very much in the routine of her life. And she is stood at the front of her house, and in front of her house goes this car, this very nice long car, and inside this car is this woman that looks very posh, because she is Lady Elizabeth, and Lady Elizabeth is married, and she has a marriage that is, let's say, content but not loving. It's more on a friendship agreement sort of level than anything else. They don't have children, but she's very wealthy, and again she has her hobbies of her sort of class, so they go out hunting and there's lots of parties, cocktail parties and things like that. And at this point, Polly thinks, oh, wouldn't it be lovely to be her, Lady Elizabeth? And later on, they end up swapping bodies, and they keep swapping bodies and swapping places. So, well, I suppose it's not a body swap, it's personality swap, isn't it? So their body remains, but they swap themselves, their souls, their personalities. So Polly comes out of her body and she goes into Lady Elizabeth's body, and Lady Elizabeth herself comes out of her own body and she goes into Polly's. And they live each other's lives as they're trying to work out what on earth is going on. Who are they? Where are they? What is happening now? And that's kind of all I want to say. It's a book about these two women that end up swapping lives. Now, if you'd said to me that there is this book that's just been written, it's a modern book about, you know, swapping bodies, would you be interested? And I'll be like, no, thank you. It doesn't sound my thing at all. But you know what? I really, really enjoyed this. And it's a book that put me ever so slightly out of my comfort zone, but because it's from the 1930s, oh, I really, really, really enjoyed it. I think the thing about this book is it's not complete extremes. Lady Elizabeth is Lady Elizabeth. She's very much on that higher sort of class spectrum. But Polly isn't lower class. She lives a very nice suburban life. They both have staff, obviously different levels of staffing. They both have an income in which neither of them need to work. They both can enjoy their hobbies and socialise with their friends. So they have a lot of similarities between them. And it's a really interesting book on perspective of, you know, the grass isn't always greener on the other side sort of thing. And I really, really liked it. The writing style was great. It was warm, charming, it was very funny. There's a bit right at the beginning where Polly's talking about films and the fact that she likes to watch certain films because there's handsome men in them. And I read that quite a few times and I was giggling out loud. I love how these characters were so vividly brought to life. I thought it was so charming. And as I said, not my type of thing, but because it's from the 30s, it was so my thing. This is women's lives of the 1930s from various perspectives, and how, you know, you can be placed in different situations and how you'll react as people. It was wonderful. Funny, charming, warming, everything that I love in a book from this sort of period. And I feel a little bit ashamed to say that, you know, had this been a modern novel, I wouldn't pick it up. But this book has really made me think of my comfort zones and to push them a bit more, because this is very different to the things that I do love. But you know what? I really enjoyed it. I love the fact that we stick with Polly. I was thinking throughout this novel, perhaps halfway through, we'll end up changing the narrative because we follow Polly all the way through, but we don't. We don't change. We have Polly and her perspective of Lady Elizabeth all the way through, and then suddenly she's back in her body again, and she's like, so what's happened? And she's got to catch up, and we've got to catch up on what's been happening while Lady Elizabeth has been in her body. And the ending was so satisfying, and I was so happy with the ending. And it was a book that I read in a couple of sittings. I read it outside on my bench, overlooking my pond and my garden, and just watching the world go by, and it was just such a wonderful, wonderful read. So highly, highly recommend it. And yeah, really loved it. 4 stars all round. So if you want to get your hands on a copy of Strange Journey, I will leave it linked in the description bar below. Highly recommend it. It's so, so good. As well as this one being released in March, so was this one. This is Keeping Up Appearances by Rose Macaulay. So thank you very, very much for watching this video. Let me know if you have read Strange Journey before. Have you not read it yet? Is it on your wish list? What do you think? Let me know, because I'm very, very intrigued. Also, a little bit nosy. So thank you very much for watching this video. Take care, and I shall see you soon for the next one. Bye for now.